The relationship between slavery and race and unfreedom and labor is one that we constantly try to untangle. And at our peril, we ignore it, but also at our peril, we make it too simplistic. Because the complexity of it matters for what we do in the current moment to undo the catastrophe of mass incarceration.
Justice, a term meant to bring about the equal treatment of all individuals. If this were so, justice wouldn't entail the 2 million people behind bars in the United States.
So my name is Kendra Vandewater. I'm the co-CEO of EF Philly, and I got into this work because, well, it's a long story, but I had personal experiences with police when I was growing up. I have experiences of being in juvenile detention, and that experience led to me and my trajectory of advocating for people to get the support that they need, both during incarceration, after, and also preventing incarceration.
Article 5 of the Human Rights Doctrine states that no one shall be subjected to torture or cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment. If this is true, why is it that the U.S. tries children as adults and over 45,000 youths are behind bars?
Judges have a lot of power to talk to people however they want. Even if they're not supposed to, they get away with doing a lot of things to young people in juvenile court without consequences.
In order to fully address what is occurring, it must be understood that all this reveals a disturbing pattern rooted in historical injustices and systematic oppression. It is no secret the United States was built on racism, oppression, and violence.
So currently we do a whole lot of things. A big thing is reforming and changing the juvenile legal system, making sure young people get the support that they need while they're going through the court process, and that they're actually getting the opportunities they deserve when it comes to getting the right representation, when it comes to the right advocacy, the right treatment instead of punishment.
No human deserves to have their dignity stripped by way of being locked away in a cell, especially not children. These issues could be addressed by implementing alternatives to incarceration programs, removal of juveniles from adult jails, and addressing ethnic and racial inequality. How we as people can begin to address this is by looking at transformative justice.
So transformative justice as both about how we prevent violence, how we intervene in violence, and then how we support each other in the aftermath of violence through healing or accountability, or both. And it's all of those things.
We want to continue to change policy. We want to continue to make society and our city a place where we can say that we actually care for young people, and people can tell by our actions.
The time to take a stand is now. Advocate for what needs to be done to protect the lives being lost and the lives still subject to loss. Write to your legislator, become a pen pal to someone currently incarcerated, and work with organizations like Yeah Philly to create awareness. Kendra's dedication reminds us that to create a more equitable society, we must recognize and tackle the complex, intertwined factors that lead to disparities in the justice system. The biggest thing we can do is learn and educate ourselves on issues of the past still occurring and make it noticeable that change is needed. Robert F. Kennedy famously said, "We must continue to prove to the world that we can provide a rising standard of living for all men without loss of civil rights or human dignity to any man." When the justice system cannot act without prejudice, it affects everyone who believes in any form of equality. Children are children. Humans are human. It's as simple as that.